Hello shooters, thanks for watching. Today we're going to review the shield with the Streamlight TL6 light attached. As most of you probably know, I'm a big fan of the shield for concealed carry. It's been an excellent handgun for me. I see them come through the classes. There's never a problem with them. They always work. But in the man versus handgun series, it did take a hit because it doesn't have a light rail because it's quite small. Streamlight came to the rescue, and the TL6 now attaches directly to the Smith and Wesson Shield. So let's get some close-ups of this. Okay shooters, the TLR-6 comes in this box. Okay, the unit, this comes in this portion here. These are for the two batteries, and it comes with a an Allen wrench too. The way you attach the unit to the firearm is these screws, these little screws right here. You take those off. This is a clamshell design. It comes in half. So you put one half on, you put the other half on. You put those three screws in there, you're good to go. This is how you adjust for elevation, and this recessed one inside there is how you adjust for windage. Now there's a common problem with almost every laser attachment for every handgun on the planet, and that is there's quite a distance between the laser. Here's the laser output right here, and there's the center of the bore. So you know, the common misconception is that wherever you point the laser, that's where the bullet goes. That is absolutely false. Nothing could be further from the truth. There's only one point along the bullet's path where the laser and the bullet will coincide, and I'll show you a graph of that. Let's look at that graph right now. Here's the ballistic chart for the 9mm. The red line represents a laser because it goes in a straight line. The green is the bullet because it doesn't go in a straight line. It has an arc. I've got my handgun sighted in at 25 yards, and I have the laser sighted in at 25 yards also. So you'll see at the muzzle, the laser is 2 inches low, and out at 50 yards, the laser is going to be 2 inches high. You can see it only meets that point once. So I just have to understand that like at 12.5 yards, it's going to be an inch low or something. Some people sight their lasers in at closer yardage, and I don't think that's a good idea. This is at 10 yards, and then at 20 yards, your laser is 2 inches higher than your bullet. At 30 yards, it's going to be, you know, way off. So I like a 25 yard zero for my lasers. Okay, the light is 100 lumens. It's not gonna blind anybody. 100 lumens is my minimum threshold for a fighting light. But this does allow the attachment of a fighting light to a serious fighting handgun. Until the Streamlight came out with this, you didn't have any choice with the Smith and Wesson Shield that I'm aware of. There might have been one from Veridian or something, but I'll talk about Veridian lasers right now. Veridian makes a laser that as soon as you pull it out of the holster, it's activated. I think that is a horrible idea. I want to have total control over when the laser's activated. Otherwise, the laser or the light's going on all the time, and that's a really bad idea. Streamlight, it's this button right here. Whether I'm shooting left-handed and I activate the light and the laser, or whether I'm shooting right-handed to activate the light and the laser. And if I'm doing both hands, if I'm shooting both hands, I'll actually use my thumb to activate the light and the laser. Okay, one of the things I like about this laser is there is a couple different modes, but they're really easy. If you just press on the button really fast and let go, the light and the laser will stay on. So this really helps if you're operating the gun one-handed. So you can't, if you have to push the button the whole time, then you can't pull the trigger, right? So you push that, and then now you can manipulate the trigger. Or if you hold down for just a second, like if you're running it two-handed and you hold down for just a second, it's just momentary on and off. I'm pushing it on, letting it go. Pushing it on, letting it go. If I push real fast, it'll stay on. So if I'm running it one-handed, I can push real fast and the light and laser will stay on. If I'm running it two-handed, what I'll do is just use the momentary. So I like it. You can also set this unit up so the button only activates the light, or the button only activates the laser, or the button activates both. I have it set up so the button activates both. Because without every fighting firearm needs a light, and without a light you can't target ID. And as civilians, we have to be absolutely certain that that we ID our target before we let a round fly off, or 5 or 10 or 15 or whatever. So I'm really impressed with this little light. I've only shot a couple hundred rounds through the gun so far with the light on it. Zero hasn't shifted. I know Streamlight makes a great product. Here's the downside, folks. The downside is there's no holsters that I'm aware of that that will allow you stuffing this gun with this light combo in the holster. But, you know, every town has its own or multiple Kydex holster makers. So I'm going to go to one of the local guys here and have him make up a holster for this with this TLR-6. Because there's absolutely no reason to carry this gun without a light now. This doesn't add anything to the bulk of the gun at all. It's very streamlined, made by Streamlight. It doesn't stick out any farther. It does have a 100 lumen light on it, which is, you know, not a blazing million candle power or lumens that'll blind you, but it will target ID, and it does have a laser. So if you're shooting from a compromised position and you can't get a good beat on the sights, then you're good to go. While we're here, let's talk about the sights. I've got these are Trijicons, U-notch with tritium dot on the bottom, tritium dot on the front, plus these luminescent sights here. I really, really like them. They're excellent fighting sights. Highly recommended. Now this thing is set up as a perfect little fighting handgun. It's got a light, it's got a laser, it's got tritium sights. Absolutely perfect fighting little handgun. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the shares, likes, and subscribes. Any questions or comments, please post them below. Do my best to answer them. And as always, make sure your training is getting you ready for the real world and not the fantasy world of the shooting range.